Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Ascension eSports Elder League Week 2. Now, I'm Spark. I'll be your play-by-play caster for this evening, and I'm joined by my color caster, Huppilicious. Hupp, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing all right. This having a little bit of technical difficulties today. We had to find some quick casters real quick for these two teams, and fortunately, the original casters could not be here tonight. So Spark and I were like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's go.
That we will be doing here. Now, we are going to be watching, I believe it is Chicken Nuggest versus... Oh, I actually don't have the caster schedule pulled up right now. Bear with me for a bit here. Chicken Nuggets versus Tic Tac Tilt, I believe, will be the teams tonight. Now, Chicken Nuggets having a little bit of roster issues here. Had to replace a couple of their players, but for the most part, I think their roster is mostly intact for this week, actually. But they have been having a few roster issues. Now, on the other side, we have Tic Tac Tilt. Tic Tac Tilt being fairly cohesive. They have a couple subs as well, having to sub in for Marcus Boss. KK being an emergency sub, as well as having Pro Miner and Mayo Lol. Actually, it looks like they will have their regular roster Dullahan, so that'll be alright. We will, however, be seeing a lot of bans coming out here. Hup, what do you make of this?
Honestly, Spark, I did not have any time whatsoever. Had no clue that we were going to be doing this tonight. Honestly, from what I've been seeing throughout this whole season, I've been seeing a lot of target bans. We definitely see 3 jungle bans, possibly a top lane ban as well, coming from Tic Tac Tilt. And I think that they fear the jungler of Chicken Nuggets, and that's why they're purposely trying to get him out. The first 3 bans going directly at him, not focusing really at anybody else on the opposing team. Whereas for Chicken Nuggets, we see, you know, a Fizz, an Elise, and a Caitlyn. 3 champions that no one really wants to go against if it's in the right hands.
Yep, definitely very formidable in the right hands. But speaking of formidable in the right hands, we've got the Bard being locked in here, presumably for Mimikyu. I do believe they won't be putting the Bard anywhere but that support position, but a well-played Bard could be a very deciding factor in this game. Having that tempered fate to save teammates, make catches is just such a powerful tool. And actually, there's a little bit of a synergistic combination there with Mickey Dizzle on that Olaf. I do believe that during Ragnarok, Olaf is unaffected by the tempered fate. So you can do a few cool things with that, but unlikely that we'll see any real planned combos out of that.
But what we are seeing right here, and I'm sure this is planned, for both teams, the junglers, ADCs, and supports have already been picked. The top lane and the mid lane for either team is still a mystery at this point.
Yeah, that's true. They're definitely trying to keep this counter pick for the top and mid lane positions. But with this new ban system, you have to be careful because you have to remember that they're going to get target bans only in those areas because there's no use in banning out any other roles. So we will be seeing a target ban in that area towards Fiora, presumably versus Penguin. Olaf is a potential top lane flex, but I highly doubt that we'll be seeing anything of that sort.
And we do see a Galio ban coming out. Galio, very strong right now, very obnoxious to lane against. It's if you're an AP champion going up against Galio, you might as well just like stand there under your tower.
I believe that in the business we call that fun and interactive laning phase, where he just uses Winds of War on you repeatedly and then never runs out of mana for some reason. Although they did mitigate that somewhat with the inability of Doran's rings to be stacked this patch. However, it might have been last patch's change actually. I don't remember, but still not going to hit him terribly hard in the mana regard. I have seen a couple of Galios go the Rod of Ages build for mana, but I don't believe that it's the most effective. So we will be going back into this lobby. Looks like there were going to be potentially there were some placeholders, so hopefully we'll be getting back into this game soon.
And we're seeing here that not really a quote-unquote placeholder, but it looks like there was just a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Oh no, it looks like there was a placeholder on the Fiora for the Fiora that was banned. As I'm understanding this, Bard was supposed to be Fiora, and of course Fiora getting banned, we would have had to redo this because that ban technically it should not be in effect.
Looks like this is going to be we'll get it totally resolved, and hopefully we'll be getting this through, but looks like both teams are ready now. Yep. Okay, so we'll be hopping back in very shortly. Going back into the phases of bans.
Right.
So the Bard was a placeholder, right?
Yes, the Bard was the placeholder for Fiora, and the reason why that we had gone back to the drafting screen was because, of course, Fiora was banned, so what are you going to pick in placeholder? Normally teams are supposed to communicate placeholders beforehand. Apparently that was not done this time, and this is occasionally what happens when the communication is not there.
Yeah, the strict rules being that you must communicate what the placeholder is prior to the champion being locked in. So, hopefully, it has successfully been resolved, I believe, but in the future, definitely something to look out for. But we will be seeing very similar picks here. If he picks a Bard again, that's going to be a placeholder yet again. So we're going to have to go into these picks for a third time, if that's the case.
Well, if he doesn't have Fiora and he's saving it for somebody, then yes, we will be going back to the screen for a third time. And third time is the charm. Everyone will be able to just straight pick their champions, and we'll be able to get right in on it.
Hopefully we will be able to do so. We will see the Fiora ban yet again. Wait, I thought that was what they had
I
done
don't
first
think
time.
that they were supposed to ban the Fiora.
Potentially they went with the Bard as a straight pick, as instead of a placeholder. Potentially, I have no clue. There's two ways that they could resolve this. They could have taken either path. Depends on the inter-team communication and which one they decide to take. But we will be seeing the Urgot ban, possibly a throwaway due to the loss of bans from these subs that the teams are having now.
Yes, definitely. I don't know. It seems like this whole day so far has been nothing but a confusing jumble for Ascension. But I'm sure once we get on the Rift, a lot of things will get straightened out, and I really hope to see some good plays between these two teams.
I do as well. Now, we're looking at these players. We do have Autumn Rain, who has played in previous seasons. I believe he's actually a prior champion, having played on the name of the team eludes me. Elite 8. Elite 8 as their AD carry and winning the Elder League either one season or 2 seasons ago.
I do believe it was 2 seasons ago. It was the season
2 seasons.
after I had played. Yes, so it would have been 2 seasons ago.
The first season of Elder League, actually. So he's coming back and trying to take his place among this new team in a new time. But whether or not he'll be able to do so is up to him. He has picked the Jhin, which has been seeing reemergence this patch. He's actually been buffed a bit. Had a little bit of damage trade-offs on his Q, but overall it's a straight-up buff with bonuses to the AD ratio on his Q and base damage on the current call. So Jhin being fairly strong in this patch, seen him a couple times in solo queue. I wonder whether or not he's going to go for a more lethality into crit type of build, because you can go for Yoma's first, or whether or not he's going to go for more crit, which is, Essence Reaver into Eye Edge or Rapid Fire Cannon, and even the experimental build I've been hearing about with the Death's Dance first item, but we'll have to see whether or not that is what's going to happen here.
Alright, so I do believe that Bard was still a placeholder, so we will finally see what it is. I could have sworn it was the Fiora, but I don't know. I'm at a loss right now.
Battle loss we will be as we hop into this Champions List for the third time today.
Hopefully, final time.
Hopefully, but
I want to see some action. I want to see some bodies getting slain.
I'm sure we all do.
I've had a rough day at work. I want to see death and destruction. Please, let's go.
Oh, okay. Well,
So it looks like the Bard was a placeholder for J4 top.
you have J4 top, a favorite in this new meta, especially by junglers by the name of Mishi. But Jeff Jarvan top lane being very tanky with the addition of that Gargoyle Stone play also. It's just incredibly dangerous and disruptive in a team fight. I believe that Mishi has actually told me about the W Max Jarvan build where you just build tank and then you never die, but you also like just enable your team very well.
And on top of that, with Jarvan having that Orianna Shockwave and then Jin's Curtain Call can be a very devastating combo.
Something that has to that is to note, however, is the potential lack of synergy between the J4 and the Olaf pick. If unheeded, Penguin could actually end up locking his teammate in a position he doesn't want to be, given that Mikita's Olaf has very few dashes to speak of, and Ragnarok doesn't make you go through terrain.
No, it does not. But hopefully, I have a pretty good feeling that they've, we are in the second week. They've played a couple games together. I'm sure they've played a couple customs. I'm sure they got a feel for each other by now, and we will just see how much time that they have spent synergizing as players together.
Yep, this synergy definitely being very important to keep in mind. This new format is a whole new ball game, honestly, because at the end of this second week, normally we'd be nearly halfway done with the regular season, but we have nearly 2 times that with this new 9-week regular season. So as we get later and later on, we start to see these teams maybe consolidate more and learn about each other more. Now we do see several subs here, but hopefully towards the end of the season that won't be quite as necessary, but we'll have to see for ourselves.
Definitely with the longer season, players have a lot more opportunity to learn how to play together. Or, those ones who just can't stand each other, we unfortunately will see somebody leave every once in a while. It is unfortunate, but it does happen. Not everybody gets along. But overall, from what I've seen, most of the people that don't want to stick around normally leave in the first week. So I'm pretty sure that we'll be seeing the teams more solidified from here on out in terms of the player consistency.
Yeah, I would certainly hope so. Now, I have to ask you, looking at these teams, what do you think about them? Do you have any particular favorite?
Well, the Olaf Jarvan combo is a great engage. They do have Janna for a little some peel. They have the Janna slow, the knockup. They also have Orianna poke, Jin poke. But the real devastating thing on Chicken Nuggets is definitely their team fighting. Whereas on the side of Tic Tac Tilt, from what I can see, is probably picking people off. You have that Thresh, you have that Ezreal, you have that Cassiopeia. When she there's a poison on somebody, she can just spam that Twin Fang and just devastate somebody. The Gragas ultimate that can completely divide a team, and of course you got the Shen taunt that can pick up 1, 2. I've seen it get 5 people, but I've rarely seen it. So this is going to be. I think this is going to come down to is Chicken Nuggets going to have a better chance with their team fighting, or is Tic Tac Tilt going to be able to get those picks and get ahead, just by getting 1 kill at a time and then snowballing the rest of the game?
Well, that being said, there is actually a decent amount of catch on both sides of the equation here with Jin's curtain call. The ability to just open up and start firing onto somebody that's out of position is incredibly strong. And curtain call, while no longer having the impressive slow it had on Jin's release, is still quite powerful. And you have to keep in mind that flag and drag into Cataclysm is a combo that can catch many people at once. So it really depends on how these teams are played out.
I
There's a decent amount of peel on the Janna, but not quite as much as there is on the red team, I don't believe.
No, Tic Tac definitely having a very solid and formidable front line. Shen able to get the taunts. Thresh could just pick off. If he lands that hook, his team can get the poke in, or he can decide to go in, flay him back, flay him away, throw up the slow, and then you have the Cassiopeia stun that can literally actually put a complete stop to a Jarvan engage. Not necessarily stopping the Olaf in Ragnarok, but at the same time, you stop both. Stop half of the tanks from going in on you. Your chances of survival and killing the other one is just gonna be that much greater.
Yep, well, that being said, the spectator delay is nearly done, so we will be hopping into this loading screen now. Tic-Tac-Toe versus Chicken Nuggets. Which one's going to emerge with the victory in the first game of this best of three? Remember that it is a best of three, so it's entirely possible to just try out new things and then go back and see what works. Basically, both teams are throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. We'll have to see how effective that's going to be for both teams.
I will apologize in advance to our viewers. This was a last-second decision to come in and cast this team. Some things have not been set up correctly for Elder League. If you see something popping up as Dragon League, just imagine that it's not there and it says Elder League.
We are in the Elder League here, the gold/platinum equivalent of the Dragon League that you saw yesterday. I remember this is Ascension eSports. We host LCS-style tournaments. We have our Elder and Dragon Leagues, Gold and Platinum, and Bronze Silver in respective order, as well as our Phoenix League for pre-made teams of just about any skill level, mostly around the diamond. So if you're interested in that type of thing, check us out. Come to our Discord, our TeamSpeak. We have our subreddit. Everything should be linked down below. But love to have you around. And the season is only in 2 weeks, but signups should be opening somewhere midway through.
And as we get here into the champ select, we see, not champ select, the the loading screen. We're seeing, of course, everyone's masteries and summoner spells. Nothing really too interesting to discuss about. We do see that Olaf has taken the Grasp of the Undying.
That he has. I'm actually not sure about the most ideal mastery on Olaf. I do know that somebody like LeBlueGirl would probably be a proponent of Fervor of Battle, but Grasp of the Undying seems fairly decent, especially considering the heavy tank line of the enemy team. However, most of the time he's going to be diving in on the carries anyways.
And maybe having that little extra heal in his pocket will help him sustain against that backline. But we'll have to see. And I would like to point out on the side of Chicken Nuggets, everybody has level 5 mastery or higher.
That is true that they do. So they are picking these comfortable champions, whereas the enemy team may be slightly less so. But looking at the lineups now, we do have Chicken Nuggets with Penguin in the top lane, Mickey Dizzle in the jungle, HTTPS Memes in mid lane, and Autumn Rain and Mimikyu in the bot lane. And on the other side, we have Tic Tac Till with Hackney 24 in the top lane, Julahan jungle, Hey K mid, and the Sandwalker and 7-7 Pro Miner 7-7 in the bottom lane. Hopefully, we'll be getting into this game soon. And wow, Thresh has Fervor of Battle. I just
noticed that as well.
I have just noticed this. That doesn't seem intentional, I don't believe.
I do not believe that is intentional unless he is deciding to go the legendary crit Thresh build, which I do not think would be optimal going up against a Jhin and Janna.
Generally, probably not the most optimal, but we'll have to see how this game's gonna turn out. That is certainly interesting, but given that we are now in game, I don't believe that they're going to be able to ask for a remake again for the 4th time. So, looks like he's just going to have to live with the Fervor of Battle. I mean, Thresh auto attacks a decent amount in a trade. Let's, it could work out. Let's see how it does. There are many different ways that this could work out. It's entirely possible that this fervor battle thrush could just pop off in front of us. I have belief. I believe in him.
Well, we will definitely have to see how this pans out, and if that mastery is actually going to be harmful come time for when you know the other what's the other one? Courage of the Colossus would be more beneficial.
Definitely, we will have to see. We'll be seeing as we load into this game. Everybody's will be taking off and buying their items respectively. We'll actually see the corrupting potion start for Penguin in the top lane. Going to be favoring a little bit more of an aggressive, sustainy type of lane. I actually think that Thorn Shield would have been better. I don't know. I suppose that Jarvan does need a decent amount of mana to cast his Dragon Strike.
I mean, he's also going up against a Shen as well, and I don't think that the Penguin wants to deal with a wet noodle fight. I think he wants to beat Shen out of lane, get his tower down first so he can roam, and get his other lanes ahead quickly.
Ooh, Pro Miner sends out the hook, but it still does not quite connect, as we see many question marks up onto his head. But short of the flash hook, there's no way that he would have been in range for that.
No, and you definitely don't want to burn your summoners this early in the game, especially with everybody there knowing that you flash, and you know that would be the jungler would have an opportune moment to get early gank you, and without that escape, you could get picked off very easily.
Oh, but we will be seeing a small exchange in the bush. Hackney24 having the slight edge, I believe, on that Shen, being able to do percentage health damage. But here's Hey K ghosting in, and now Penguin does have flash, but will he be able to make it over? He will make it over, but not before he's taken out by the auto attack of the Cassiopeia. First blood.
Wow, first blood at 1 minute and 30 seconds on the side of Tic Tac Tilt.
It's definitely surprising to see that taken so early, but Penguin just not really being careful at all, going that deep into enemy territory, not respecting the ability to be caught there. You do see some level 1 trading in the mid lane.
But I wonder how HTTPS memes, I'm just gonna call him memes. We're gonna see how memes is gonna fare against that little bit of gold lead that Cassiopeia now has because of Penguin's little misstep there.
Well, she was unable to go back and cash in, so to say, on that level 1 kill. So upon the next back, we'll be seeing more of an advantage here. But I do apologize for the problems we're having with the stream. We're trying to get it fixed as soon as possible.
No, we are fine. It corrected itself, so it is up. It actually went up literally right after the loading screen. So we are caught up. Everything is perfectly fine.
Okay, but now HTTPS memes going in for the kill onto Hey K. But Hey K able to get out with the slightest edge using that flash to get away from the gank. We'll continue to try to fix these problems, but for the time being, you can listen to me narrate what's going on right now. So we'll be seeing a fight going on. Autumn going to get hooked up, but now the exhaust goes down onto Samrock. Do they have the damage? Autumn building up to that fourth shot, but he's being taken very low. Flash in against 7-7 Pro Miner does get the kill. Be a second blood for the side of Tic Tac Tilt. We're seeing a little bit more of a skirmish here as Doulahan's getting hit up by both Mickey Does Little and Penguin. Flashes out, but is taken out by the Undertow. But now HTTPS Memes is here to support his team. Hackney 24 having to flash away, but it's not enough, and now Heike is in a little bit of a bad position, and just like that, the tides have turned, and now that's 3 kills onto the side of Chicken Nuggets, taking back what previously was a 2-0 lead in the favor of Tic Tac Tilt. That's just a bloodbath, honestly.
Very unfortunate for Tic Tac Tilt, though. Honestly, we did see the Gragas flash. Unfortunately, the flash was not far enough to get him over the wall that he needed to get over to get out, and unfortunately, he paid for it.
Flash used by just about every member of Tic Tac Toe that was involved in that fight, just unable to do anything there. He just got ran down by the power of Mickey Dizzle and Undertow. Undertow being an extremely good tool at catching out people. He used an LCS several times to get first bloods when against unwary opponents, because the fact that Undertow refreshes his cooldown that easily means that provided you have enough mana, you can kill just about anybody with it. But now Heike has backed, but instead of getting a combat item to use that first blood advantage, he has actually opted for the Tear of the Goddess to scale. But now look at it as HTTPS memes flashes away. Undertow misses, but now Mickey Dizzle is looking to try and clean up the kill onto Heike. Here's Dullahan, but will he be able to help? Undertow missing yet again as Mickey Dizzle gets hit up by Dullahan, but Tic Tac Toe should be fine now. As Pro Miner goes in a little aggressively, but Shields of Mimikyu will be mitigating all that damage slightly.
We see both teams trying to get a very early advantage against the other. We're literally seeing just a massive bloodbath that's probably going to decide which team is going to take this game.
Yep, the team's definitely trying to use this early game spikes respectively of their champions. Mickey Dizzle definitely exhibiting that very well. But now Mickey Dizzle trying to make a lane gank work out as Hackney 24 is kind of caught out. Dullahan is here, however, so he will have to back out as Heike threatens death onto HTTPS memes, losing a decent chunk of his health in the process, but oh, there's a Storm Raider Surge, there's the auto attack, and he actually gets the kill. The Storm Raider Surge just being so strong to just get in there and get the kill. Definitely demonstrating his ability on that champion, knowing to get the poison and then get those Twin Fangs, and Twin Fangs just doing so much damage when he was poisoned.
Definitely very
but now we will be seeing Mickey Dizzle try to kill Heike, but he's juking it out, is a little out of mana, no mana for the Twin Fang to follow it up, and Mickey Dizzle almost getting himself killed in that exchange.
And Cassiopeia definitely showing some severe dominance, not taking any crap from anybody. And I would like to point out, very knowledgeable champion, like you said, weaving the autos in between each twin Fang to maximize the damage, as well as having the Storm Raider Surge there, allowing those autos to come in with little to no effort.
It's interesting to note that actually, I believe that Autumn Reigns opted for the, if I'm not mistaken, he opted for the Deathfire Touch. I've seen the particles right there. So blue buff will be given over to Heike there, so he will be able to recuperate his mana and go back in to dominate the enemy team as he was doing previously. His running out of mana being the only reason why Mickey Dizzle lived there. So hopefully he'll be able to make a lot of things happen with that. But
now having a Tear, a Doran's Ring, Corrupting Potion, and blue buff, he'll definitely going to be staying in lane a lot longer. Definitely have a lot more pressure.
Definitely building so that he can never run out of mana. But now Pro Miner flashing in for the play, and there goes the wall. He does get the wall, so onto Mimikyu, but the hook still hasn't come out. As a True Shot Barrage hits only Autumn Rain, Teleport comes in, and Penguin is going in now, gets the knockup, but he gets cooked under tower, taking not actually that much damage, but now here's the Shen ultimate, stand united, and Autumn Rain needs to back off. Both sides getting very low, but no kills exchanged yet. Now just a tremendous use of resources there by both sides of the team. No mid lane intervention, and Dullahan was on the complete other side of the map, but might be a net win overall for Tic Tac Tilt, I feel. They didn't have to use the teleport from Hackney 24 because he had the Shen ultimate, and Dullahan just got to farm the whole time, so.
I definitely agree that fight went in favor of Tic Tac Tilt because now Penguin does not have teleport, even though
Oh, but Dualhan knocks Mickey Dizzle into the pit using the explosive cast. Can he get the kill onto him? Mickey Dizzle actually level 5, not even having the Ragnarok as he gets slammed and body slammed. Oh, but here's the ultimate flash by Heike. Misses the Noxious Blast, but doesn't matter. He's chasing him down with the Stormers, making sure to keep back from the ball as Hackney24 goes in top lane. But now, as you look on the map, HTTPS memes trying to run for his life, doing a significant amount of damage, but he gets knocked up, hit up by Dualhan. He's not long for this world at all, as Heike gets yet another kill. 3-1 on the Cassiopeia.
and Cassiopeia definitely being the big threat right now of any laner, of any champion in this game. And we saw Dualhan giving the kill over to Heike. Definitely a wise move there, getting your powers, your powerful ones fed like that. Definitely what you want, especially for the late game.
Yeah, playing for this late game, though, Cassiopeia will be a monster later on. I do believe that she scales quite well, given just the sheer amount of damage available in Twin Fang.
The sheer amount of damage
is very, very significant.
The sheer amount of damage and the fact you can't buy boots, so you get that extra weapon, you get that extra damage item as well.
Yeah, that's definitely true in terms of item efficiency. Cassiopeia gets everything, so we'll be getting the most out of that. But that's still yet to see in the future. Now, 3 to 5, 11 minutes in this game as Tic Tac Tilt have a 1.5k gold advantage on the side of Chicken Nuggets. And now actually Heike finishing the Archangel staff first, going completely in for the Tear of the Goddess upgrade. I've seen people build Morellonomicon on Cassiopeia after a Tear. I haven't seen this before.
I've seen the grievous wounds definitely on Cassiopeia. I'm wondering if she's gonna build it next or if she's just gonna go for a straight damage item. Being so far ahead, she doesn't really need it. The only one really on the side of Chicken Nuggets that has any real healing at this moment in time is Janna.
Yep, Janna having a little bit of healing, but also Mickey Dizzle being able to heal up from his W there, the Berserker's Rage, or however the ability is called. Now, Pro Miner trying to flay people in as Hackney24 is trading very hard in the top lane, threatening the life. But speaking of threatening the life, Mickey Dizzle getting caught up, but it doesn't matter. Pro Miner's just dealing so low, and he does get taken out. But now the ultimate has to be burned for Mickey Dizzle, who is getting dangerously low. Saving his teammate is Mimikyu, as Mickey Dizzle is healed back up to basically full.
I would like to point out.
But now Hackney24 is going in, and Dualhan's here. Explosive cast hits, but it knocks him in the wrong direction. No, it doesn't. Hackney24 says no and flashes in to get the last hit. Shen having so much attack range with the ability with that Q. The dragon will be taken by Chicken Nuggets, seeing Dualhan on the top side of the map. And now Dualhan's here, and there's no Ragnarok for Mickey Dizzle as he burns the ghost, trying to get away. But now Heike is here, and Heike needs to run, ults to get the Petrifying Gaze in, but may have walked a little too close. Gets rooted up, but now Autumn Rain is in the middle of it. The ultimate is used, the shockwave, but now Heike is on the offensive. Tic Tac Tilt trying to chase, but doesn't look like they're quite going to be able to make it happen.
Good play by Tic Tac Tilt in response to the taking of first dragon. And now they're going to attack the jungle with Mickey Does being dead.
Heike getting the Stormers proc and actually goes under the tower, gets the stand united, but doesn't look like he'll be able to live there. Locked up under the tower by the Cataclysm as Chicken Nuggets do claim her bounty. But it does look like Tic Tac Tilt are actually not going to be able to claim this mid lane tower, taking it very low, but unfortunately not able to get that first brick gold.
No, not yet. We are at 14.5 minutes, and first tower still available, but we definitely see the mid tower and bot tower for Chicken Nuggets getting critically low here.
Well, now Sandwalker getting hooked up, and now so is Autumn Rain. The Arcane Shift in, and he flashes away, but Autumn Rain is just completely taken out. Mimikyu not trying to run for his life, but Mickey Dizzle is here. Undertow goes in onto Sandwalker, and now the Ragnarok is used as well. Here's HTTPS memes to help out. Arcane Shift is trying his damnedest to get away, but what's it gonna do? Pro Miner trying to get the kill onto Mimikyu, and he does actually return it. Teleport is used by Hackney24, trying to save his teammate, and the taunt comes out, but he does not get anything at all. Another teleport comes in from Penguin, who does not have the Cataclysm, but here comes Cassiopeia, and Cassiopeia goes on the Maximal Vision, just getting absolutely destroyed by the double juggernaut of Chicken Nuggets, but now the fight's going on, and now Heike is okay, and he will be chasing down with this Noxious Fumes, and he will be getting the final kill, actually given over to Pro Miner. Extremely hectic fight going on, but Heike able to keep himself alive and deal the Cassiopeia damage that we have seen so far. Autumn Rain returning from base, but what's he going to do versus 4 members of Tic Tac Tilt?
We're definitely going to get first tower here. Good plays on both teams with getting there when they needed to be. Unfortunately, the people that needed to be there the last were there and were able to definitely pick that up. Huge play in favor of Tic Tac Tilt.
Now the curtain call will be used by Autumn Rain, landing a couple of shots, but not quite able to get the kill onto Pro Miner, being very close, but ultimately just missing the final shot and not able to get past the form of Heike. As Jolahan takes his blue buff and is trying his best to give it over to Heike, but now Sandwalker is here as well. But now Heike trying to make a pick onto Mimikyu, processor administration, and he is just melting Mimikyu's health bar, but is not quite able to get the last hit. But now Herald is actually being taken advantage of by Mickey Does Little and Penguin, seeing so many members of Tic Tac Tilt on the bottom side of the map, just able to take that objective for free. We'll see how they use this Herald, whether or not they'll be able to use it effectively. Exchange of position there by Hackney24 and Penguin, but now Hackney's in a little bit of a bad spot, being 1v3, locked up in the Cataclysm, but does flash out and he will be alright, but that's a lot of resources used for the top lane, and now Heike is coming up. Herald is summoned by Penguin, and it looks like they're going to be able to get a lot of damage on this tower, but will it go down is the question, as HTTPS memes is hit into the corner. Penguin running for his life, but now Heike is running for his life as well. Mickey does little diving under the tower, but not quite able to get him, being that Cassiopeia heals for so much off of the Twin Fang. Penguin recalling in his own, in the jungle of the enemy team rather, able to get away, but now bot lane looks pretty free for a 2v2 here.
Well, like point out, Riptail did not get that tower. Unfortunate for Chicken Nuggets. All those resources.
I'm in a little dangerous position, takes another Q in the face. True Shot Barrage goes in, but it will only hit the shield, as heal is used by Autumn Rain for some reason. But now top lane, the tower is going to be taken by Tic Tac Tilt. Current call shots coming out. We'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, and we will not be seeing a kill taken by Autumn Rain here.
Definitely good map awareness coming out from Tic Tac Tilt of where the enemy's gonna go next, where are they dropping the Rift Herald, as we saw the big response there from top lane with HK and Dullahan collapsing with Hackney there under their tower, and very, very effectively stopping them from getting their Chicken Nuggets from getting their first tower.
Definitely be a little harder for Chicken Nuggets, given that they don't have a tower yet, and all of their outer is being taken here. So opening up the map a lot for Tic Tac Tilt. We'll have to see how they use this, whether or not they're going to contest any camps or otherwise. But Heike already having the Rylai's as well as the finished Seraph's Embrace. 19 minutes into this game, he is stacking that like mad.
With Rylai's and now with Storm Raiders as well, if Cassiopeia, if she sets her eyes on somebody, that person's probably gonna die. Like, hands down, no, there's no.
Definitely having a lot of catching power, but now Hackney 24 taking the blast cone to safety. But they do see Mickey does along the top side of the map, knowing that this dragon is free.
Definitely a lot of good map awareness coming out in this game on the side of Tic Tac Tilt.
Hackney 24 being a very potent duelist on that Shen, having the Tiamat now as well, just literally taking no damage from Penguin with that shield from passive of Shen, the key barrier. As we see another fight breaking out on the top side, actually, Penguin taking still so much damage. Gonna have to flag and drag his way out, as Shen does not really have too many abilities to follow up on that. But now we will be seeing Tic Tac Tilt sieging in the mid lane. A decent amount of wave clear on the side of Chicken Nuggets in the form of HTTPS memes. Now, Mickey is little trying to come and fill in for Penguins, but Happy 24 doing so much damage, 3-1 on that Shen, having both Sunfire Cape and that Tiamat, taking absolutely 0 damage.
Especially going up against a J4 and an Olaf, having that Ninja Tabi is definitely very beneficial for him. Well, especially since J4 and Olaf are the only two that have really been up in that top
Now,
lane.
HTTPS is caught out. Explosive cast goes in. He is just destroyed. Meant to push him back, but he actually flashes into it. On him right now, hit up by the Hulk, and now they're going on to him. Heike taking up the tower, but Mickey is a little bit in the front line, the back line rather. Heike running away as fast as he can, having to stand united from Hackney 24 to keep him alive. And that is just 2 catches for free onto the carries of Chicken Nuggets. Now, this game doesn't look... Chicken Nuggets don't look very long for this world.
Chicken Nuggets are looking a little bit doused with that salmonella poisoning.
Now the bot lane tower will be sieged by Tic Tac Tilt. The hook not quite connecting. The Z sentence still not connecting, but now HTTPS memes is back up and he has the command Shockwave, actually being very close to a very good one there. Has to be careful, but now the flag and dragon, will we see the Shockwave? Yes, we do, but only under 2 members. Now the curtain call comes in. Heike is safe in the back. As long as Heike is alive, the fight still has hope, but he's taking a lot of damage. He's taken out by the Oriana Shockwave, or the command attack rather. And now they will be pursuing onto Hackney 24 and Sandwalker. Sandwalker running in a completely different direction, but Penguin's actually trying to get in onto Hackney, but Hackney going to be taken out by the flag and the dragon strike. So excellent turn by Chicken Nuggets to take back what was theirs, but not before half of the life of that bot lane tower being taken.
No, definitely a good siege there by Tic Tac Tilt. Unfortunately, they did get caught in what we were talking about earlier in the champ select of just the all-in engage that Chicken Nuggets has, and we just saw it right there. In that fight, and we saw how devastating it could be, and Chicken Nuggets just really need to just keep doing that. If they keep doing that, they could turn this around and possibly pull out a win for themselves. But we're at 23 minutes, and with a 7.5k gold difference, it still looks like it could be anybody's game despite the 4 towers being down. We definitely see Chicken Nuggets not taking it laying down anymore.
Well, given that there's a 7k goal lead, I wouldn't quite say anybody's game, but definitely there's a little bit of hope for Chicken Nuggets if they continue to fight like this. Overall, I really think it was just an overstay by Tic Tac Tilt, taking the lives of both the carries of Chicken Nuggets, but at only 22 minutes into the game, they thought that they could take an inhib tower off of it, which with an Ezreal AD carry, not really super feasible, so just got greedy for the tower and ended up paying the price for it. Now we see Penguins going in yet again, uses the Cataclysm, and now Heike is in the middle of it, shielded up so much by the Seraph's Embrace and Thresh, but now HTTPS Memes is kind of in a bad spot, has to be careful as Sandwalker is laying down the artillery with those Mystic shots. But Heike living with a shred of his life, using the Seraph's Engage to its fullest. Just receiving so many shields in the process. Now they will, Tic Tac Tilt will be sieging down this mid lane tower and taking it. Oh, but now Sandwalker uses the Arcane Shift to go in onto Autumn Rain. Not quite able to find the kill, but he may find it onto Mickey Dizzle, who does not have the Ragnarok, running for his life and does end up making it out. As Heike is in the jungle trying to heal up a bit on the monsters before he can re-enter this fight. And he will heal up a very significant amount, actually. And now we will see the 5-man siege. No shockwave this time, no cataclysm. So what can Chicken Nuggets do here? We'll have to see, but Tic Tac giving them a decent amount of respect in this 5v5.
We're going to see a lot of vision control from Tic Tac Tilt in Chicken Nuggets jungle. They literally, if the fight goes sour for them, they can literally just take off into the jungle and not have to worry too much about being seen and picked off.
That they do not. But now, Tic Tac a little bit slow to respond as mid lane will be sieged by Chicken Nuggets. But fortunately for them, Heike and Hackney24 will be in the top side of the map, getting a tower of their own. As ProMiner trying his best to defend this tower, and actually the explosive cast goes out. But now Chicken Nuggets are totally tunneled on this tower. Sandwalker gets stunned up, rooted up rather, as Penguins is going to try and get himself out. Current call used, but not going to kill anybody yet. Everybody is still alive as Chicken Nuggets try to retreat. And Hidden Tower being threatened by the split pushing team of Heike and Hackney24, but they'll have to get out now.
Let me see here that with Chicken Nuggets all having to back after that exchange, the Tic Tac Tilt is going to get a free dragon.
If that they will get themselves a double Ocean Drake to the only Infernal Dragon of Chicken Nuggets. But now Baron is being pinged on, and with a Void Staff, Rylai's Seraph's Embrace Cassiopeia at 26 minutes, this is definitely a possibility.
Definitely going to stop anybody from trying to interrupt them getting Baron.
Now Penguins is maybe in a bad spot. Actually played away from his flag and drag, but now they're trying to engage onto Mickey's little. Heike getting the Stormare Surge, but not quite able to go in. Oh, but the Death Sentence lands on him. Mickey somehow now max range as he gets hit up, and now Mickey's still being very low, but gets taken out by the Petrifying Gaze. He goes in, flashes in, and the final Twin Fang does actually go over as Penguin finds solace in the back of his wall of his base. And the Noxus Fiend was actually not hitting with the Autumn Rain. That would have spelled his death, I'm certain. As Hackney24 tries to get to the spot lane in his tower. And now Penguin trying to go in and save this tower as Autumn Rain taking so much damage from Hackney. Heal is used, but does he want the fight anymore? Yes, he does, he decides. As Dullahan actually flashes in, gets the explosive cast to posthumously celebrate the death of the AD carry of Chicken Nuggets. And now they're knocking on the door of this Nexus. They are trying to get on the Penguin. Sandwalker flashing over, and now they're just bullying them outside of their base. ATTBS means what can he do? Gets a 3-man shockwave, actually. That was very nice. But Dullahan going into the base. Heike being very still alive as the Undertones are just going everywhere but Heike's face. And now, at 27 minutes with the Seraph's Embrace activated, it does look like Tic Tac are going to take this win. Current Call is going to come out, flashes the final one, but now it does look like they will be taking the win here. Having a little bit of fun with them at their Nexus, but overall, a very clean win here by Tic Tac on the back of Heike. It may take them a little bit longer. They may have to decide whether or not they want to win this. Alright. So they're going to mop up a few more outside the base. They may decide to win at some point. Alright, there we go. Alright, good job to Tic Tac at 28-minute win.
Very fun game. Both teams having really good plays, but the Tic Tac Tilt just outplaying it.
Tic Tac early on, honestly, Chicken Nuggets had that lead with, or no, sorry, The early lead was obtained by Tic Tac Tilt, but Chicken Nuggets were able to come back with that 2v3 in the 3v3 rather in the river. So they were up on kills 3-2 at some point, but ultimately Mikita is still having the kills, not really able to make much happen with it as he wasn't able to get onto the very sticky or the very slippery backline of Tic Tac Tilt, especially since Heike got all those early kills, just snowballing super hard with this Cassiopeia, 1v1ing everybody and leaving no man behind, but ultimately playing very, very, very well there is Tic Tac Tilt. As we mosey on over to the damage graphs, we will see it is mostly dominated by Heike's Cassiopeia, closely followed by Sandwalker's Ezreal.
I would like to point out that the Jarvan top and the Olaf jungle had the exact same amount of damage.
Exact same.
The exact same.
So they did the exact same. Down to the number. That is synergy if I've ever seen. That is team.
That is
work.
a match made in heaven right there.
That is indeed. I can't believe I missed that.
I've never seen that before. Wow. But
terrible.
now the next question is going to be, can Tic Tac Tilt end it here in the second game, or is Chicken Nuggets going to respond and say, no, we're going to take this third game, we're going to win the third game?
It's certainly something we'll have to see how they swap up their pick and ban coming into the second game, but I think definitely they'll have to do something about the Cassiopeia.
Definitely, either ban it or pick it from them, one of the two, because that was just utterly devastating.